from wonderful Wiltshire. This is Stephen, and we're going live today on Facebook, in the live video sales group, on the live video hub, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. If you're watching on any of those platforms, live or on the replay, do say hello. If you watch on the replay, just type the word replay, and we'll know. Okay, so we're on a countdown, and this is because we're going live on several different platforms, all of which have different handshake times, and it takes a little while for the signal to get through to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And what you don't want to do, what you definitely don't want to do, is start talking before you're live in all the destinations you're broadcasting to. That's why the countdown clock. Practically, a minute covers it. It's a nice number. And I'll disappear that card and bring me. I've seen people with countdown clocks. Sorry, I should say welcome to the show. And this is live video sales training with Stephen. And lo and behold, I am Stephen. Okay. The logo up there is the BeLive logo, and I'm broadcasting from my BeLive studio. BeLive is quite simply the best platform for marketing, and that is exactly why I use it. It has facilities that no other platform has. So let's remove my name. Now, if you are watching live, I say thank you, and please do comment. One of the things that how do you prepare for a show? How do you prepare for a broadcast? And it depends on the broadcast. I'm doing 3 broadcasts today and different preparation for each. The first one was Blabbing for Britain, and all I do for Blabbing for Britain to actually set the show up. Remember, every show we do is marketing. You're actually promoting your brand, personal brand or corporate brand when you're live. Blabbing for Britain has been great. It's been a great learning experience. We're on show 325 this week. Peter, John, and I have been broadcasting together for 6 years. But to get ready for the broadcast, it's simple and straightforward. I go to BeLive. I go to my Blabbing for Britain studio because I can have 10 different studios for different shows, and they're all set up with all the graphics and all the videos and the agendas. And that means that I basically just switch over to the Blabbing for Britain. And then the only other thing I need to do is to update the agenda to show 325. Copy the guest link, which doesn't change, but I copy it anyway. And in Messenger, put the guest link there so that Peter and John can actually see it. They join me 5 minutes before the show because we've been doing this for 6 years. Camera test, microphone test. And then we go live at 10 o'clock and we just chat for an hour. That's it. Simple and straightforward. This broadcast for the live video sales group on Facebook run by BeLive, I sort of ponder what I'm actually going to talk about. And I generally have a topic. So on Tuesday, we were talking about BeLive. Yesterday, we were talking about broadcasting to your website. And the reason that I'm talking about before the show is that for the live video sales, again, I've got my own studio and it's got the agendas on it. And I've got 2 agendas. That's the welcome to the show. And you are watching Stephen. And we are talking about, this will go across the bottom, marketing and selling on Amazon Live, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, that sort of sets the topic for the broadcast. Now, that's a permanent agenda. And I can go to that agenda anytime. And I can talk about BeLive selling features, or I can talk about broadcasting to your website if I can find it. So going live on your website. Okay, so BeLive selling features and going live on your website are permanent agendas, and I can just come here and talk. So in terms of preparation, I just decide where to go live to, and I go live to LinkedIn. Because there's a business aspect to this. Now, talking of LinkedIn, this broadcast does go to LinkedIn. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you never know on LinkedIn who's watching. And watching earlier in the week was Kieran from Belfast. And Kieran watched the broadcast and he contacted me afterwards and said, we have a full day webinar going from Zoom next Thursday. Could you join us? Which is wonderful. So I'm just waiting to hear back when, but I'll join Kieran on Zoom next Thursday, talking to up to 100 businessmen in Northern Ireland. And that's all because I went live on LinkedIn. It's a direct result of going live on LinkedIn. So going live on LinkedIn does have concrete rewards. You might not see them straight away, but somebody's watching you, and if they like what you're doing, then they will make contact. I'm going live on Facebook in the live video sales group, which is our spiritual home run by BeLive. And in terms of what we're doing there, it's live video sales training, and we're here to help and answer any questions. YouTube is an amazing resource, and basically what I'll be doing this weekend is going through the 3 videos I put on YouTube from the live video training I'm doing, and I'll be doing the SEO. So that live video sales training with Stephen can be found on both the Google search engine and the YouTube search engine, and that's the best marketing you've got. So if you go to, well, in fact, if you go now to Google and you type in Stephen Healey, or if you type in Stephen Healey BeLive, then you'll get a lot of hits, because I've been doing this live video with BeLive for the last 6 years, or nearly 6 years. We're heading there this year. Thank you for watching live. I can see that you're actually watching live on either Facebook or YouTube. If you've got any questions, then please do ask. So preparation for this show, the live video sales, I've got 2 agendas. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I can just use the agendas. And then on Thursday, I've got to think of a topic. And I haven't thought of a topic, which is why we're doing this, but we are doing it on BeLive. And so I'm also live on the website. We talked yesterday about website broadcasting. So basically for this, my preparation for doing this is at 12 o'clock to go for a walk with my partner Angelica. And we did today go for a walk, 2.5 mile walk around by the new Devizes Hospital. And then came back, and 5 minutes before the show today, I was sat out in the sun in England reading my Kindle, and then I suddenly realized I had to come live. And so I chilled before that show, and I arrived in my studio 5 minutes before and just pressed the go live button, and that's it. The next show, Amazon Live, takes, well, again, basically Amazon Live, you've got the carousel with 40 items in it. Now I've chosen those 40 items, and I can talk about those 40 items, any of them. You can pick an item in the carousel and say, what's that, Stephen? And I will be able to talk about it. And the whole idea of Amazon Live is simple and straightforward. In fact, the whole idea of live selling is that you tell stories about the products. Now, I've got a story for every product in the carousel. And in the first hour of a show, I might only cover, there's shows are 2 hours long, I might only cover 4 products. So in terms of getting ready for an Amazon Live, I'm driven, first, the only thing that drives me is the items in the carousel and my stories. And what I do is I do more and more research. So I retain more and more information, and I've got an agenda for each item that I've got in my carousel with all its main features. Because one of the things about going live is that you actually forget things. So I've got an aid memoir on the right hand side of me, and I can click to that and I can go Logitech C920x. The X stands for extra. The extra is 3-month license of XSplit Vcam. It's a camera which is 1080p and 720p. It has 2 microphones. It's got a lens. It's got a 78-degree field of view. So over a period of time, your stories develop. So in terms of preparation for an Amazon Live, it's product knowledge, okay, and getting together stories. and improving on those stories. The thing about going live is every time I go live, an Amazon Live 2-hour show is different. One show is different from the other, according to the questions that are asked or the mood I'm in. But in terms of going live and preparation, I just turn up 5 minutes before and press the go live button with my cup of coffee, of course. Today, at the moment, I've got a cup of tea at the side of me. But all the preparation, I suppose, is ongoing. Yeah, because it never stops, because you come up with an idea and then you make that idea a reality. Now, an idea I've got at the moment, which will be a reality next week, is a review of all the major broadcasting systems, BeLive being the first. And then I've got another idea, which came to me in the middle of the night. And if you're watching live, you're the first people to hear this. It is called the Insiders Club. And it will be broadcast on BeLive. And it will only be a 30-minute show, but it will be full of insiders, Amazon insiders. And I just want to see how that pans out. Okay. But I'm currently going live on Amazon Live 5 days a week. I'm actually getting paid for doing that, which is wonderful. Some days you make lots of dollars, some days you don't. It's a bit of a lottery, but you do know that every time you go live, you're actually going to make money. So in terms of preparation, agendas lead the way. The common thread through this has been that the agenda is very important, and BeLive is the only system that has an agenda. You've got captions, but you can have an agenda with 50 different items in it on separate topics, and you can then go to those. Now, because I've got my live video sales studio, then I can have agendas relevant only to the live video sales. Okay, if you're watching me live, and this is interesting because for the moment, as far as numbers are concerned, I don't know who's watching me live on LinkedIn because I don't have LinkedIn open. I know one person is watching me somewhere, which could be Facebook or YouTube. And I'm going to start in June, right? So we've got the prep is before the show, and then you just go and do the show and you tell the stories. In June, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going, because I don't schedule broadcasts anymore. It's too confusing to schedule a broadcast. So what I do is put an information card out. I say I'm going live at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. Go broadcast twice a day. That's it. Now I just turn up here and go live. Now that means benefits are no scheduling, just one post per broadcast on the Facebook pages. I don't think Facebook are going to change that back again. So any way around it is not to schedule. Okay. Now, if you don't plan a broadcast, and you've probably gathered by now that I haven't planned this broadcast totally, then what happens is occasionally when you're broadcasting, you're actually going to run out of words. Now, when I first started broadcasting on Amazon Live, I did a 30-minute broadcast, and I find that hard. But then I upped it to an hour, so I broadcast for an hour. That I was getting better and better, and now I'm actually broadcasting for 2 hours on Amazon Live, and the time just flies by. Okay, because the script is in the carousel, and I can just talk about the items I want. I've got 40 items. I can pick 10 or 11 items to talk about, and it's so simple, it's straightforward. And there is an audience on Amazon Live. When I go live and I show this, going to this. This is the Logitech C920x. Okay. Now, Logitech C920x is a camera that I bought 6 years ago. The latest model has been totally rebuilt. Was released in 2020, so it's only a couple of years old. But this is the camera that hundreds of us bought when Facebook Live arrived because we wanted to up our game. I went for this camera. the thing is that you develop stories. So my story about this is the fact that I've had this camera 6 years. It's very durable, and those stories you actually tell whilst you're live, and that's the way you actually build up to broadcasting live for 2 hours without any hesitations whatsoever. Is practice. Yeah, every single broadcast you do is practice for your next broadcast. And if you can talk for 2 hours, essentially a la QVC, so no customer feedback, then you've cracked it. Okay, but you can't do it straight away. You've actually got to, if you're going to go on live and sell, you've got to know your product. You've got to have stories about your product. You've got to be ready to demonstrate the product. Then at the end, people are better informed, and you've told them about the product. I'm showing you this camera, okay, because yesterday, when I'm live on Amazon Live, people scan the carousel, click the link in the carousel, and they attract a cookie from Amazon. And anything they buy in the next 24 hours, I get commission on. And I just noticed my comment system's gone live. So it's obviously a comment hiding there. I think somebody's monitoring how long it takes you to get your first comment. Well, I can tell you that it's taken 17 minutes to get the first comment on this show. But I broadcast yesterday. I talked about the Logitech C920x, Logitech Brio, and this camera, which is fast becoming my favorite. And this camera is, if I switch that on, okay, this camera is the Obspot Tiny, and that's the view from the Obspot Tiny. I use the Obspot Tiny as my second camera. Yeah, and it does a good job, a sterling job. Let's see what's in the comments. See whether there is a comment coming in. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to come back to me and say hello to Corinda and saying, hey, Stephen, and try slow then. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Corinda. If you could expand on that. Yeah, so this is my second camera, and this has everything that I am marketing on Amazon Live. But the reason for my telling you this, I'm just amazed by what happens when you go live on Amazon Live and what people do after they've watched you. And yesterday, people bought 22 cameras, a mixture of C920s, 922s, Brios. And it's just, I mean, comment quite slow on dashboard and be live lately. Well, I basically, yeah, the dashboard comments are actually switched off. They were switched off until I'd been broadcasting for 17 minutes. I think there's some experimenting going on, Corinda, at the moment. I noticed little things which are just, well, working one day, not working the next. So somebody somewhere is experimenting on your and my Be Live broadcasts, probably. So 22 cameras sold yesterday, all Logitech. Yeah, and you get, well, it feels good to actually told my story about Logitech camera, and by that, people have decided that Logitech camera is for them. Is there an app on mobile for the C920 webcam? You can't use a webcam on mobile. There's no USB port, so there is no app that allows you to use. Not. That's a fair question, Corinda. I can't see anybody actually wanting it, but thank you for the question. Okay, so now my next broadcast is this. Let's just find it. If I go off full screen. So this is live video sales training with Be Live. And my next broadcast is this one. I'm live today. Not that one. Just a minute. What happened there? What? That's weird. Okay. I'm live today at 4 o'clock. I'll take the Be Live logo off now because it's on there twice. I'm live today at 4 o'clock on Amazon Live. I'm also live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I'll be talking about webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits, broadcasting from Be Live, of course. Let's take that off full screen before it happens. What's that doing there? How'd that photograph get there? Crazy. Let's come over here. Okay. I do love the feature to be able to slide myself across the screen. Okay, this photograph, best explain. I explain what it is. I can't explain how it got into the carousel. This is our wildflower garden, and the colors of blue and yellow tell a story. And I want to say thank you to everybody in Ukraine, in the engineering department of Be Live, for actually keeping Be Live broadcasting over the last 12 weeks. Thank you. But that's the wild garden. Let's hide that. Come back to me. Okay, and back here, right? And comment coming in from Corinda, which will show automatically on screen. My hands are here, and hopefully the comment is there. You know, TP-Link, how far does it go? Well, I'm not actually marketing today, Corinda, but it has, I think it's 30 foot, as we say that. I'll check later, but it is running. I mean, Corinda is talking about the TP-Link Deco, which is there, which is the Wi-Fi system that we're using, and the sun is actually shining through the window today, and the top of the unit is hot, so I'm going to move it over a bit. It's a beautiful sunny day. I went out for a walk today, as I said earlier. So now I turned up here today, the beginning of this broadcast, without a script. And because I've been broadcasting on Amazon Live and talking for 2 hours, I was able to talk reasonably intelligently for almost half an hour. It will be half an hour by the time I'm finished. So you can turn up and you can just talk about anything. Once you've got the patter, once you've got the ability to go live and talk, then you can do a 30-minute show and it just passes just like that. You're not looking at your watch and checking the time. 30-minute show is easy to do. Once you've done a 2-hour show, scaling back to 30 minutes, you can wing it. Now, I never recommend winging it. Winging it is when you go live without a script. And if you're in live selling, to actually go live without a script is a no-no. You've got to have a script. You've got to have a run of show. You've got to decide which product or service you're going to talk about throughout the broadcast. Now, if you've got too many items listed, that's no problem. If you've got too few items listed, then basically that's when you stop talking and people stop listening, because you've got too many times when you seem like you've lost your words when you haven't. Well, you might have, because if you don't have enough items to talk about and you run out of words, then you're stymied. So whenever you're going to do a live selling show, what I would suggest, because you don't know how long it's going to last. If it's the first time you're actually doing it, you don't know how long it's going to last. Do a run through before the broadcast. Practice. Yeah. And do a full practice of the show until you're happy with what you're doing. The practice, you'll benefit from it. I know it's a pain doing anything in practice and watching yourself back on the recording. Well, who watches themselves on video? Well, most broadcasters do, because what we want to do is to make sure that when we are on camera, we're actually can be heard. We are actually telling stories. We're making sense, and we're looking at the camera most of the time. So practice is, I mean, as far as practice is concerned, this is my 3,000th and odd broadcast. So I've been doing this now for over 6 years, and I can blab for Britain, as I did this morning with John and Peter. But in any show, preparation is key. Yeah, get yourself into the mood before the show. Play rock music, play folk music, play classical music. Just get yourself into the mood before the broadcast, because this is my final thing for today. Broadcasting live is great. It's great fun, and it's the way to reach out to people and to chat with people. It's a way to share information. It's a way to make new friends. It really is. But preparation for the broadcast is key. And the other thing that's key, and this is why I was, before this broadcast, I was sat out in the garden eating lunch, reading my Kindle Paperwhite, and just chilling. Yeah, I broadcast better when I'm relaxed. Okay, there are some people who broadcast better when they're hyper, and what you're not, when I'm in front of camera, this is me. Okay, this is not an act. Okay, it's difficult to act on camera. You've got to be yourself. But some people are hyper, and that works for them. It's whatever works for you. Yeah, it is important to be in the right frame of mind. If you come on a live broadcast and you are miserable, then guess what's going to happen? You'll make everybody else miserable too. Now I'm going to just wind back on that. There are times when it is difficult to be positive when you're broadcasting, but most of the time you should try to be positive, because your mood, even though people are watching you remotely, your mood comes across on the camera. And if you're showing enthusiasm and excitement and smiling, guess what? People watching you will be totally interested. Your energy is going through the camera, out the other side, and you're actually engaging people. Yeah, absolutely. But that's the way to do it. Okay, with humor, with humility, with knowledge of your products, but being in the mood to live broadcast. Now, I can't think of a time of day that, well, I wouldn't broadcast early in the morning. Okay, watching me at 8 a.m. in the morning would not be a good idea. Watching me at 10 o'clock at night will be not be a good idea. I mean, I've got it organized now. With one exception, all my broadcasts now take place between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So it's just, I'm broadcasting in the afternoon, and my mornings are now free, and I finish at 6 o'clock. Yeah. So I'm in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood in the afternoon because I'm awake. Okay. I'm looking forward to both shows. I look forward to doing this show and reaching out and actually exchanging knowledge and listening. And I want to say a big thank you to Corinda for actually joining me live today and commenting. If you've been watching live on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, I'd like to say thank you. I'm back again on live video sales at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. Eastern next Tuesday. Okay. All right. I stay fresh. Okay. I know it's strange coming from me, but don't broadcast too much. I only do three of these shows each week: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I've got Monday and Friday. I don't do any live video sales training. That keeps everything fresh. Okay. So next Tuesday, we'll be talking about, obviously we're talking about Be Live. We'll be talking about Amazon Live. Next Wednesday, we're talking about broadcasting to your website. And next Thursday, I'm waiting to hear back from Kieran on LinkedIn, but if I'm not live in Belfast, then I'll be live on Facebook in the live video sales group. Next week, I'll actually have a topic. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. And goodbye from Stephen in Wiltshire, England. Thank you for watching.